Hi folks, welcome back. Last week we learned that city manager Jay Reinstein was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease at age 57. I asked Jay about his response.
I didn't really have a response immediately because while my wife was expecting something like that, I was not. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but that's not what I expected. So it really, it took me a while, several weeks sort of figuring out what this journey was going to look like and really depressed. And I think my world came to a halt in the sense that what the hell am I going to do as far as how am I going to support my family? What does it really mean? And I think where things started to change is one of the first things my neurologist said to me. He says, you really got to tell your boss. I'm in a role that's a leadership role. I'm reviewing contracts. There's decisions being made, and you gotta, and I was so worried. And I remember I was seeing a therapist at the time because of anxiety, and we were sort of walking through it together. He helped me sort of have that conversation before I had the conversation. And I didn't know what to expect. But the city manager, quite honestly, Doug said to me, he said, listen, we're in it together. You tell me what you need. And that's all I needed to hear, because you hear this horror story, and now I hear it. Then I didn't know anyone with Alzheimer's, no one in my family. And for him to say that, it was like a relief, because then I knew, okay, let's work through this. And it was pretty amazing.
We'll be hearing more from Jay in the near future. But next, I want you to meet a caregiver, more often called a care partner these days. Dan Gawerke's wife, Denise, was also diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. Stop by and meet Dan next week to hear more stories from the front lines of dementia.